the heart motif is such a popular shape for jewellery making, and it's lovely to make for a friend a pair of earrings like this. They're called Cupid hearts. These ones I'm making out of copper, and I'm using green beads instead of pink or red, which is traditional. What we're going to do is start off with cutting the wire. Now I've got a piece here that is already pre-cut, but it's 4.5, 5 inches, and that is enough to make this frame here. So what you do is cut 4.5, 5 inches, find the center and just fold it in half, and just bring those two halves together like that. You want to make them run parallel. So I'm just going to squeeze the end with my flat nose pliers so that both wires become straightened and parallel. Now I'm just going to hammer the end because that helps me curl it into a little link, just very lightly. And then with your round nose pliers, curl the end into a link. So we've got a doubled end, a doubled link. Now if I hold the wire with my flat nose pliers here, I can separate it out. And I'm now going to start making the sides of the heart frame. I'll use my round nose pliers on each side. There's one, and there's the other. Now you can just spend a bit of time evening them out to make sure they look symmetrical. Just do that with your hands. As you can see, there's the heart shape. And now you can decide where do you want to join it. So you can either secure it high up or low down. I'm going to go about midway. And I'm just going to wrap one of the wires around the other one. So keep one extending out, and then the other one just gets wrapped around. Once it's secure, cut off any excess and just neaten the ends so that they're not protruding or there's no snagging ends there. And now just to toughen the outer frame a little, just give it a little tap with a hammer. So I'm just going to position that on the side of my steel block. You can see that's flattened it out a bit. That's moved, so I'm just going to centralize that again. There's my heart frame, and now all I have to do is link a bead onto the end. And on this particular one, I've added a little detail of some gold wire because I wanted to introduce a gold ear wire onto it. And you just have to do that by cutting a couple of inches of, this is 0.6 or 0.6 gauge wire, and I'm just going to wrap it around where the other secured wrap is and spiral each end. So I'm going to pick up the end here and curl the wire round to create a little tight spiral, which is going to be flattened on each side of the heart frame. This just introduces a little bit of extra colour and detail. And this is the other side. And by introducing this gold colour, it means I can then put it on to gold ear wires. So it just brings it all together. So I'm just curling the wire up, and then I'm going to flatten it against the side. I'll show you this in a minute when I've squished it. That's the technical word for flattening the wire. Right, now I'm going to make this suspension bead. All I have to do for that is create a jump ring, and that is done by coiling the wire around the same spot of my round nose pliers, and then I'm just going to cut through, and there's my link. That I can open up sideways, thread through the top of the bead, and have that ready for suspension. So let's make a link at the end here. If there's too much wire, just cut a bit off, and now create a link. And make sure it is closed. You don't want that to fall apart. And now I'm going to add a little tiny suspension bead down the center of the heart, just so that there's something hanging in the middle. To make the center part of the earring, I've got some 0.6mm copper wire again, and I'm just going to thread a tiny little, well, it's a it's a 4mm, in fact, 4mm little crystal bead on the end, and I'm going to make a little small spiral head pin, so a little hook that you squeeze together at the end and then just curl it around. So that's going to be the head pin. There we go. Push the bead up to the head pin and then cut it off, leaving about ½ an inch or so, so that you can make a nice link at the top. This is going to be suspended on this center doubled loop, the center frame of the heart. So I'm just going to lift that up, place that in there, and close the link up. And hopefully that will sit at the center. There we go. And now we just need to make 3 jump rings to link the top ear wire and finish the earring off. The ear wires that you can buy ready-made like this, these fish hooks, they can be customized by just unraveling the front loop, straightening it out, removing the little gold bead that it comes with, and adding your own bead to blend in with the earring that you're creating. That's not completely straight, so I'm just going to straighten it out even more. Try again. There we go. So I'm going to remake the link that was there. And then we just need 3 more jump rings to finish it off. So I'm using 0.8mm copper wire again, because I love the pinky look of the copper. And I need, you do need 3 because it needs to hang at a slight distance away from the center. So 1 just doesn't do it. And we should nearly be ready to wear these. So that hooks into the center again, and the other one next to it. I'm just going to close that loop. And then we're going to add 1 more. It's always easier to use 2 pairs of pliers to open and close your jump rings. It also work hardens them and makes them more practical and functional for wear. And the last one can go into the link of your ear wire. So let me just get hold of that, and we're ready to link it in. Oops, it's alive and jumping. There we go. And there you have it, a pair of Cupid heart earrings ready to wear.